If your goal is having an amazing physique while being able to perform insane calisthenic skills, listen up, because I'm gonna give you the full roadmap of how you can get there. And remember, this video is for someone who wants to be a well-rounded athlete, who wants great cardio, who wants to look good and be able to do calisthenic skills. That's an important point, because if you don't care about anything else, just the planche, then by all means train just for the planche. But if you want to be more than a skinny kid being able to do a full planche, then listen up. If you're starting from zero and you don't have too much training experience, you're gonna focus on building the habit first. You just want to do this to get the ball rolling, because in the beginning you have no context of how much you have to work for getting some results. So in this initial phase, we want to get you to focus on the inputs rather than the output. In this sport, much like any other area of your life, your success depends on your consistency. So at this stage, it's not about what you do, it's about doing something. What worked really well here for me was a 30-day push-up challenge. I did 100 push-ups every single day for 30 days straight. It gives you everything you need in the early stages of your calisthenics journey. It builds the habit of working out. It gets you some results at the end of the 30 days. You get to experience training consistently. You get to experience the feeling you get after a proper workout. It gives you small wins on a daily basis. And another thing that's great about this is that it's stupidly simple. You don't need to think about a workout plan, what exercises you should do, how many exercises. It's there. It's simple. You just have to execute on it. And so if you have little experience with working out, I would suggest you to start here. Now the second phase is building your base. This is where you will get good at the basics: push-ups, pull-ups, dips, Australian pull-ups maybe, squats, some leg raises or crunches. The goal of this stage is to get a solid foundation and to get these exercises to a solid level. And by a solid level, I mean being able to do 10 pull-ups, 15 dips, and about 20 push-ups with good form. That's the key, with good form. I didn't mention any number for squats and anything for core, because these kind of have their own category in my eyes, and you should always try to be better at them and improve them. At this stage, I would suggest running a push-pull legs split, where you're repeating push-pull legs twice per week, and you make the second leg day a cardio day. This worked incredibly well for me as well as my client. This is because frequent training allows for more quality sets, because you're performing more sets when you are fresh throughout the week. And on top of that, it will get you quicker neurological adaptations. Keep the duration of your workouts about 60 to 90 minutes, 90 being the max, like I wouldn't go further than that. And the structure of your workout should look something like this. Pick 6 exercises, do 2 rounds, and keep the rep range between 6 and 20 reps. Now I understand that that's a bit broad, but you can do a lot less pull-ups than push-ups, for example. So like you can do 15 push-ups, but you will be able to do, I don't know, like 6 pull-ups. So yeah, that's why this is kind of a broader range. Now, what you're not gonna do is doing the same shit over and over again. You're gonna progressively overload. That is the key. Every 1 to 2 weeks, increase the number of repetitions you're doing in a given set. Now, you don't need to raise the number of repetitions in every single set at once. Do it for a couple of sets at a time. Maybe just do 1 extra dip. It's about these small incremental changes. And again, it is important to perform each repetition with perfect form, full range of motion, slow and controlled movement, but not to the point where form breaks down. By pushing past that point, you risk injury and you're building up a lot of fatigue compared to how big of a benefit it will provide you. Now remember, at this stage, you're still building a solid base in terms of mindset, which is going to be crucial for the next parts of your journey. Now, the next stage is where things get a little bit tricky. And at this stage, you will keep the structure that I was talking about in the previous point, but you start practicing easier skills like the handstand, the L-sit, the dragon flag, muscle up and stuff like that. The most important thing here is that you're gonna start every single session with skill work, because learning skills requires a fresh central nervous system. Your nervous system will learn and adapt much better if it's fresh. So you will practice the skills at the start of every session. Then you're gonna do the basics. At this point, you will probably have a solid base, so you can now start adding weights. I suggest picking up a weighted vest, preferably something that you can modulate the weight on. Let's take my weighted vest, for example, where you can modulate the weight between 6 and 10 kgs. So at this stage, I would build my basics up with a weighted vest to the exact same numbers that I was able to do without a weighted vest. Now that you're training for skills as well, you need to know what greasing the groove is. Chances are you will grease the groove without even knowing about this technique, at least if you're enjoying training, which I'm sure you will. So greasing the groove means doing random attempts of the given skill during the day. It's a great tool to utilize because it won't build too much fatigue and it will provide your central nervous system with some extra information. The more you practice something, the quicker you'll learn it. It makes sense, right? Finally, you want to transition into focusing on skills. This is because the more advanced skills like the planche, like the front lever, planche combos and stuff like that, if you want to get into those, these need a lot of focus and a lot of prioritization. If you want to unlock skills like that, you need to give them the attention they need. And don't train every skill at once either. Pick 2 to 3 skills that you want to focus on, optimize your training around them, and maintain other skills. If you're like me and you're afraid of losing the skills you already have, no, you're not gonna lose them. Especially not if you do them once or twice a week. It's a lot easier to maintain a skill than to unlock it. My other fear of this type of training was that I will be small. I won't build muscle. Let me tell you, if you structure your training well, you will be able to build muscle with these skills as well. So pick a few skills, think in 6 to 12 month blocks, focus on them, prioritize them, give them the attention they need. And once you unlock them, you can change your focus to another skill and maintain the ones that you learned. I'm not going to get into too much detail here because it would be a long video, but I'm going to put out a lot of information on this topic later. So there you go. That is what the journey to insane calisthenic skills and an epic body looks like. If you have any questions, make sure to let me know. DM me at Balint Boris and I will help you to the best of my ability.